What's up, guys? What's up? Welcome to the Football and Chills podcast. We are doing a reaction show today. We're reacting to the Liverpool versus Crystal Palace game. It was at Anfield. I didn't catch much of the game. I actually watched most of the second half and some of the first half. But I have here one of my friends, Adam, who I'm pretty sure we're going to meet each other in the pub on Monday against United because I'd love to see them beat United, believe it or not, just for the sake of more banter. How you doing, Adam? Welcome to the show. This is the second show we're doing, so you're fresh in.
Thank you for the invite. Anyway, I'll give as best knowledge as I can from a Liverpool point of view, and fingers
Yeah,
crossed. And yeah, we probably will be meeting up on Monday for the United match as well. It'd be nice to get a win over them as always.
yeah, it will. Do you wanna move your phone like this so at least you cover the?
Go
Yes,
like
there
that.
you go. There
There
you
we
go.
go.
Now we can see your full face and beard. So, Carl, how you doing, Carl? Did you get to watch the whole game?
I watched the first half and I watched parts of the second half because I was out on the road. So I stopped
Oh,
and
okay,
then
yeah.
I put on my phone to watch parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the time when I called you, or we were having a phone call, I was at
Mm,
work, about to knock off. I could hear you driving. So I was
yeah.
like, okay, cool, cool,
I
cool.
was listening to it when I was driving, so it was interesting.
What you were listening to it? I haven't heard anyone listen to football for so long. You were listening
Yeah.
to it as in on the radio.
Yeah. So my phone was on. I plugged it to the Bluetooth of the car. And then as was it was showing, but I can't drive when
Ah.
I'm watch. So I could listen to it as they were talking through. It, yeah.
Okay, okay,
The
okay,
power
okay.
of 5G, man. The power of 5G.
Power of 5G. Yeah, back in the days, we would never do such a thing.
Lie,
So
lie,
Adam,
never, never.
I know. So Adam, I'm gonna start with you. Where do we start? This is your second draw after Fulham. I was 100%. First of all, Nunes, you've ruined my fantasy football. My
Oh,
fantasy
same.
football was on you. I decided to sacrifice Kane and put you. Oh my god! So where do we start here? Okay, so this is your second draw. As I said, I'm just gonna start off. When I saw the Fulham game, Fulham did work hard. But Paris, I didn't see much of. They usually have a plan. Paris seem to be a team that know how to ruin everybody's plan and they know how to ruin things. That they're not at their best. That's not the Paris I've seen. I've seen them make a nightmare out of us after a red card. But you guys were pushing and pushing and pushing. What do you think went wrong today?
Well, to be honest, first of all, I think with the likes of Trent and Robertson always crossing the ball into the box, I seen it last year and it didn't really play into our hands. And I was kind of thinking with this season, and I seen against Fulham as well. Now I think Nunes was a bit more effective with the likes of Fulham, but Liverpool get in this little bit of a rhythm where if they can't work the ball through centre midfield, they'll push it out to the likes of Trent and the likes of Robertson. Now, don't get me wrong, they've very good ball delivery, but if you have, say, 6'4", 6'5" high centre backs, our attacking line really isn't tall. Our only tall player now that we have at the moment is Nunes. The likes of Diaz, I think, the likes of Jota, and even with Salah, I don't think they're really as clinical in the air. I'd like to see Nunes do a little bit more, maybe with the ball at his feet, because that's kind of Liverpool's style of play. You get the ball into the feet and you move the little triangles and everything like that. Look, it's all about adapting. Obviously, Diaz, he's only had really, I think, 6 months with us now, and obviously he's got a pre-season under his belt. And I feel like he's starting to develop into the player that Liverpool are looking for. But obviously, with the likes of Mane, with being a big loss going to the likes of Bayern Munich, don't get me wrong, I think Mane is an absolutely amazing player. I think he'll do very, very good in the Bundesliga and with Bayern Munich. But I think it just needs a little bit more of a adaptation for the likes of Diaz and the likes of Nunes to suit Liverpool's style of play. I think the way that how Klopp and Pep will integrate them into the squad, I think that they will get to that level eventually, but it might take a little bit of time just to kind of adapt to our style of play.
Yeah, so you think you guys are in transition? Like, are you like you're fixing up the team? But for me, I think Thiago is gonna be a big mess. Just me. You can come in, Gundo, if you've got anything to say or anything to ask. But I think Thiago is gonna be a big mess because looking at that midfield of yours, right? I know Milner is a warrior, and I respect him for a guy who is his age. And when he was at City, I saw him play multiple positions. He even played as a striker in one game when we played, I think, Newcastle or something, and he was great. But
Yeah.
the midfield you have, I think when
Mm.
Thiago got injured, I was expecting you guys to start looking for another midfielder, because from the beginning, I thought you guys would buy a midfielder this season, because I think your team is just lacking in the midfield. Because yes, as much as Trent and Robo will crossing the balls, right? I believe if you had like Thiago, you're winning that game. I think you're winning that game. He's going to find the pass. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. I think inner midfield needs strengthening. I think Liverpool know that as well, but they've came out through transfer window saying that if there's a midfielder that we would want, we would already sign him. I think really we're holding out for Jude Bellingham. I think Liverpool really are looking at that for a potential signing. But there's going to be a lot of competition for him, the likes of PSG, Real Madrid. But I think at the moment with the Liverpool squad, they are very good when it comes to the likes of the midfield. But they're getting older. You see the likes of Henderson, he's coming 32 now. You have the likes of Thiago, who was 30, 31. When our big midfielders get an injury, it's not like at the age of 22 or 23. These all hamstring injuries will have that bigger knock-on effect, which will obviously keep them out of the squad for a little bit longer than obviously everyone would like. I think having the additions of Elliott and having the additions of Carvalho into the squad is very good. It's very promising.
Yeah.
Two very young players to come in. But once again, like as you see, Elliott last season had a big injury. So I think he will get feet eventually. I think he's suiting this type of play that Liverpool want to bring into the team. But I just think at the moment we're a little bit lacking in the midfield. I think Keita, for the 3-4 years that he's been with us, I did expect maybe a little bit more. I think maybe this season could be a big standout season for him. Obviously, he only has a year left in his contract. A lot of people are asking for him to sign a new contract, but I don't think I've really seen the standout midfielder that we kind of need to kind of keep everything together, to have the creativity. I think on Naby Keita, on his good day, he can be one of the best midfielders that can actually play for us. But I just think he can get a little bit nervous. I think sometimes he can be a little bit weak, and I think sometimes his pass can be misjudged. That can obviously give it away in midfield, and I don't think he's as good defensively as Fabinho. And it's the same, if Fabinho goes out missing, we don't necessarily have that centre defensive mid that will do as good of a job. Now, you can put Henderson in there, you can put Thiago in there, but they're more of attacking midfielders. And that's one thing that Klopp introduced, was to have Henderson more on the right side. You see him playing with the likes of Trent and the likes of Salah, and he plays very good out there. But I just think defensively in midfield, that's where we're kind of lacking, to be honest.
Yeah, that's good. That's well put. That's well put, Adam. Well put. What about yourself, Gundo? Whatever you watched, what did you see yourself?
Sure.
What seems to be the issue? Like yourself from outside. By the way, Adam, Gundo is sort of a coach. He does coaching badges and he's a coach.
Right.
What have you seen? Like, what's changing? Because I was 100%. Like, I'm not bantering, but I was 100% thinking they will win at Anfield regardless the red card. I think I was saying they will do it. They've done it before in the past.
So there are three things I want to talk about. So I like Adam because Adam seems to be a reasonable, well-balanced Liverpool fan. So I'll give my right. So three things, right? First of all, I will only stop worrying about Liverpool if they get below 90 points. That is, the projected points is below 90 points, because right now they can still get 108 points. Okay, the fact is, this is undisputed. They can go for the next couple of games and win everything. They could. Right? So technically they could, mathematically they could. Number two, I just thought that they have a lot of injuries. And so you have lots of your key players out. You're playing against a Palace team that are difficult. They beat us at the Etihad last year, so it's no surprise. Number three is I thought that Liverpool today were rushing. From a coaching perspective, what I saw today was they were snatching at things. They seemed to be just a little bit too hurried, right, to get that goal, to make that pass. Normally they're more incisive, they're smoother, they pass the ball, move the ball. They have that, that finishing that's crisp, that's clean, that's determined. They seem to be snatching at things today, trying to hurry the play. And so
they had 24 shots, Kondo. 24 shots, 944 touches. Yeah,
right. But check out those. I'm watching the highlights again. I watched the highlights where we were talking, and a lot of the attempts were snatching. They were rushing. They were trying to put pressure. They're trying to kick the ball into the goal before they normally do, and so you end up missing. You end up getting blocks. You get the Diaz goal was perfect because he didn't snatch. right? He took his time, drew past 2 or 3 people, got to the right zone with the ball across. He didn't snatch, he didn't rush. That to me was what I noticed today. It was just one of those games where they were off their normal rhythm, and it can happen, and that's why they got a point today. They could have lost the game if Palace was more clinical, but at least they got a point, they didn't lose. So, it is what it is. But okay, you dropped, 4 points. Okay, fine. But there's still 108 to go. I believe 108 points to play for. So,
no, there's no, for me, from my side, the same as you, Gundo. You've always told me from the beginning. By the way, Adam, I was hyping Chelsea last season. I thought Chelsea are going to continue with the bounce from the Champions League. My friend here, Carl, who's always come-headed, he taught me, even called me on the phone call. I remember told me, Patrick, stop hyping Chelsea. There's only 2 teams in this country. 2 teams. There's Liverpool and City. And for a minute, I was like, I think we were laughing at you. Remember on the group, we're like, nah, we believe Chelsea will do it. Then he told me, no. There's only 2 teams. There's only Klopp and Pep in here, and it's a competition. And these players know how to turn up. There's no other team that actually knows how to turn up than these 2. So looking at these stats, Adam, looking at these stats, obviously I don't like looking at stats, but the stats make sense this time. I was looking at the stats in the United game. They had more possession, but I could say from my own eyes that United were rubbish, but you guys were not rubbish. You actually had the more possession, and they had 27%, and you had 4 shots on goal. They had 3. Obviously, Zaha somehow did not get his shooting boots. He was only ruthless in that one shot.
Very, very
You've got 24 shots in total, 944 touches, passes, a lot of passes. Basically, you dominated the game. So looking at this domination, and as Carl says, do you agree with him that you guys were sort of rushing? And looking at this domination, you guys used to be very clinical. I have seen Liverpool before had the least possession and be clinical. The time when you had Firmino, Mane, and Salah, when you guys were on fire. So what do you think, looking at all this, does it worry you going forward? Or you're like, nah, as Carl says, you guys will be back?
It doesn't necessarily worry me. I think it would worry me a lot more if we weren't able to create those chances. I know you said to a point there where, you look on last season, we created less chances, but we were a bit more clinical. If I seen us, say, having less chances today and having more on target and not being as clinical, that would worry me a little bit more. It still shows that there's rhythm. It still shows that the lads are still clicking together. Their style of play is still there. I think I'd like to say at the start of the season, it could be cobwebs. Generally, a lot of teams at the very start, it takes a little bit of time kind of get into your rhythm. I think at the moment, we do have a little bit of an injury crisis. The likes of saying Jota out, obviously Nunez now is going to be out for 3 weeks. We have Kanate, we've Matip out. I know Kelleher isn't really a big loss, but if Alisson picks up an injury, then obviously Adrian has to come into goal. The likes of Thiago being out as well. Obviously, you have Oxlade-Chamberlain now. He's out on crutches for the next 3 months. I think Ox is a brilliant player. I think he's just very injury prone. He's kind of had that through his career. He had that with Arsenal as well. And I think just sadly for him, I think it's going to be a reoccurring effect for him. I would say Liverpool will probably look to move him on probably in next year, maybe the year after that. I think he only has a year left in his contract. But I think when everyone kind of comes back into the fold and everyone kind of gets their development back, their passion, then we'll be a little bit more sharper. I think we can see Liverpool improve on those type of things. But I think just at the moment, I think we're maybe lacking in a little bit of confidence. I think I'll go back to the point where obviously Nunez will need to find his feet. Liverpool still need to kind of understand his type of playing style. I see a lot of it really is up in the air, over the top. I know Liverpool did do that before with the likes of Salah and the likes of Mane, but I think Nunez
it worked also. It worked very well.
Yeah, I think just Nunez is a different type of over the top. I think he'll take the ball down, move it maybe a little bit back like how Firmino did. It's not necessarily he's going to take a turn and run. Now he's very quick. I seen he clocked.
Beautiful goal though. Beautiful goal.
Oh yeah,
that was a beautiful goal. And he I think he almost did that against City. Did he score in the City one, Gundo? He scored, isn't it? He did that against City where he takes the ball.
The header, I think, for the third goal, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. So let's go to the big talking point, and I'm gonna stick with you, Adam. Then we can go with Kyle. Let's go to today's big talking point. For me, I just want both of these guys, obviously him and Haaland are young lads. But what's going to happen in this league is the defenders know that Haaland and Nunes are the thing right now. Do you know what I mean? The thing that everybody's talking about. I think this will be happening a lot. What do you think of this? Then I'll go to Carl after that. But Adam, what do you think as a Liverpool fan? Because this baiting is supposed to be a bit mature, but for his age, I get it. Because this was purposely done because they did it purposely because he was causing trouble. He was causing trouble.
Yeah. And now Nunes, I think he did play very well, but I think you probably know as well as me, Patrick, when it comes to centre backs and obviously new players coming into the Premier League, and obviously that Nunes is very young, he doesn't have the maturity. I think Klopp will be having very stern words with him. And I'd like to say, even when he does come back from his 3-match ban, I don't think Klopp is going to be rushing him back into the side. If we get the likes of Jota and the likes of Firmino back, I think they will probably be our starting attackers. I think Nunes makes a little bit more of a better impact off the bench. Obviously, fresher legs, very, very quick. But seeing it happen live, I think it was 10 minutes before that incident that you have up on screen at the moment. He did have a little bit of a headbutt at him. I think he's immature, but I think that's what happens when you move to a big club. But obviously, there is a little bit of pressure. Obviously, being the new striker in and having to make a name for yourself. I think maybe everything just went to the head. Obviously, playing at home, making his debut and everything like that. He shouldn't react in the way that he has. And obviously, Liverpool now have to weep in the badness of his resulting loaf to Anderson.
Yeah,
but I think Anderson played very well.
His Zidane moment, his Zidane moment. So, Carl, what do you think, man? Because I've also been a bit scared of the same issue with Haaland because I know they will try this. They'll try this with Haaland too. Somebody will try this. It's normal.
I'm not scared of Haaland headbutting or all that kind of stuff. I'm just, do you remember in preseason when people are making fun of Nunes for missing goals in the preseason, when they were in Asia? Remember what I said?
I know, yeah.
I keep saying that. Look, give this guy a chance.
Adam, by the way, Adam, before Carl goes, Adam, if you want to know a City fan who's a Nunes fan from the beginning, who already get me that if we don't get Haaland, Nunes is the guy. This guy scouted Nunes way before even Man United. This guy was already talking about him, and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy you're hyping about?" So go ahead, Carl.
I've been talking about this guy for 2 years. For 2 years, one of the things that we do, Adam, Patrick and I, is that we really dig deep into tactics, players, transfers, and we go deep. I mean, tactical analysis, statistics, data. We do we assume like we own the club, and we think about things in that way. So we come up with players who could fit different systems. So I've always scouted Nunes, and I still believe he's a quality striker. He's young, he has a hot head, but that's what Klopp is going to have to work on, right? How do you manage him to the point where he understands that the Premier League, they're going to go after him? That today will be a lesson for him, which I think will help him in the future. Just to say, hey, look, kid, in the league here, they will wind you up. Keep your cool head, do what you need to do, and let your football do the talking. It's disappointing that disappointing is a bad word to use. I'd like to see him play. I think he's really, really good. And I don't like this narrative from fans around, if Haaland doesn't score a goal but gives an assist, he's not good. If Nunes misses a chance in 90 minutes, he's not good. I like to enjoy.
It's becoming okay. Look, at the beginning, I was part of it, but it was just banter. But I've dropped it because all of us have dropped it. We're just bantering, but some people seem to have taken it seriously because at the beginning everybody was bantering, But we knew deep inside that these kids are talented. But right now it's becoming a joke. Like I just wrote a message to somebody like underneath that post. I was like, don't waste our time, please. It's like it's a full season. We don't want to hear this. Like let these two guys just play football. Like at first, that's what I noticed. Some people do take things a bit far. Some people joke and leave it. It's a banter. Like I have a friend, Dan, who's a Liverpool fan. Me and him were going at it about Nunes and Haaland, but at the end we just told each other that, we're just bantering and we've dropped it. But I've seen a few people, but I don't trust Twitter anyway. Majority of Twitter, some of them are like teenagers, so don't even mind them. So guys, you're looking forward, obviously, to the United game. I'm not going to speak much on it because I'm going to do another show on that. So what do you want to see different in the United game from what you've seen in these two games? Knowing that Nunes is not there, Jota is not there, like who's going to be your front three now? Like what do you want to see going forward for your team?
I think really I'd like to see the likes of Diaz. I think he can keep his position. I don't think really anyone can get in his position now at the moment. Obviously, what Mane got. Um, I think the likes of Salah, you can't really take him out of it either. And I'd like to say Jota. Jota last season got, I think, 15, 16 goals. And it was his first year with us. Obviously, he made the big improvement from going from Wolves to us. I think it was a 42 million deal in the end. So I think he will get his value. And I think he's only after signing a new contract with us as well, which is great to see. Same with Elliott. But I'd like to see the front three of Jota, Diaz, and Salah. I think they work kind of the best at the moment. I think give it time. I think Nunez will get that starting position because obviously Jota isn't naturally a centre forward or striker. He's more on the left wing. That's where he was positioned in Wolves as well. But I do think we could possibly see the likes of, say, Firmino maybe leaving at the end of next season. I think Liverpool only have a year left on him, and I think Juventus were sniffing around this transfer window. So going forward for the next couple of games, I'd like to see the original front three of Diaz, Jota, and Salah, and then Nunez to be integrated into the team. Then once he kind of matures a little bit and understands the Premier League and what Klopp demands for his playing style as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that's where we're gonna close it up, and on this show, the reaction show, the Premier League match reaction show, guys. As I said, the reason why I'm doing the Football and Chills podcast, it'll be sort of a podcast. Why I'm calling it a podcast is I'm going to be doing a lot of interviews with a lot of people. I'll be interviewing fellow YouTubers. I've got a few big YouTubers who I speak to who have featured me on the channel. I'm going to interview them. I just want to do something different. But apart from that, also, I'm opening up this because I'm able to talk a lot of football. And Carl knows me. Me and Carl will spend time on the phone talking football. But on the True City channel, it's just going to be strictly Man City. So on the True City channel, it's Man City. If you go to the Pitch Points channel, we'll do a lot of Champions League, African Cup of Nations. Isn't it, Carl? A lot of Champions League, African Cup of Nations. So we just want to separate things because
tactical analysis,
tactical analysis.
Yeah,
because go ahead.
Like tonight.
Yeah, so
tonight sorry, I was going to say tonight.
No,
it's going to be. Well, you're recording it, so it's going to be. Go ahead.
I'm recording it, so there's no. You can't even say tonight. It's not one of those it's not activated yet. So basically, by splitting channels, I think it makes easy for people. Because I noticed that when I do the Football and Chill every Wednesday on the Man City channel, and I bring a panel full of different channel people from different channels or different football teams, it was confusing people. There was a lot of rubbing against each other with the Man City fans. I love my Man City fans, but I think I've decided to just take this segment and make it separate. Every Wednesday, the Football and Chills will be there every Wednesday. I'm going to just set a time with the panel. Adam is going to be here regularly because you can see, as Carl says, he likes Adam. Adam is very level-headed. There's a lot of level-headed Liverpool fans. I know, Carl. I'm going to introduce you to them. But thank you very much, Adam. I appreciate you coming on. And hopefully we meet each other again